if you're someone who struggles with happiness or always feels disappointed or let down in life, you might want to listen to what I have to say in the next 5 minutes. I used to believe that happiness was something that you chase, something external. That if I worked hard enough to get this much amount of money, if I worked hard enough to get this promotion, to get all these medals, these awards, that I would finally feel happy or good about myself, make myself proud. But growing up, I realized that that level of thinking is just all a false facade. From my personal experience growing up in an Asian household, there has always been a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations set upon me. And I'm sure all the other people, not just Asian community, but growing up in general, parents, people always had these certain expectations and pressure put upon you growing up. But in my personal experience, Asian household, you have to be good at everything in a sense, academically, physically, get straight A's, be good at math. Let me tell you, I am not good at math. I was not the type to get straight A's. Academically, I am not your typical Asian. Anyways, be the most respectable and dependable yet independent kid. As a kid, I grew up figure skating. So if those of you who don't know, I used to do competitive figure skating for 7 years of my life. I used to do that. And early on in my career, in my most humblest and non-egotistical way of saying this, early on in my career, I would always win my competitions. I would almost always win every single competition that I participated in. And as I kept winning these competitions, as I kept getting more and more medals, I developed this sort of ego confidence, or this sort of expectation that every single competition I was going into, I had to win, or I knew that I was going to win. And as I progressed throughout my career and going to new higher levels, facing more people, facing harder people who are better than me, going to a wider scale, not just in the city or locally, and now it's provincially or countrywide. That wasn't the case. During the end of my career, I remember it was a complete 180 turn from when I started. Now I wasn't winning all the time. I wasn't always on podium all the time. And in fact, there was a moment in time where I was straight up just dead last. And there was a time period where I remember my coach would always say this, as sad as it is and as comforting as it was in the moment, they would always say to me, okay, our goal is not to get dead last. Our goal is to be within the bottom 5. And looking back in that moment, it really sucked. It really sucked. Absolutely mortified my confidence, demoralized me, because I used to be someone who always was winning, always got medals, always on the spotlight. But now I'm someone who is fighting for dear life not to be dead last. It's a crazy 180 switch. And that really broke my ego. That really broke my reality of life compared to my expectations, because now it was something I wasn't totally used to, or it was something I wasn't expecting. And the reason why I tell you this story is because this was a lesson that took 7+ years to learn and fully understand. The truth is, happiness, joy, contentment, peace, serenity, whatever you want to call it, boils down to the expectations you have. Expectations with yourself, other people, events, materialistic things, whatever you want to call it. Your level of happiness boils down to your expectations. I'm sure you had times where you asked someone to do you a favor and the results may not have been the best, may not have been the greatest. Or maybe there was times where it's the reverse, you ask someone to do you a favor and they went above and beyond, and they went above your expectations. That's because we subconsciously place a certain expectation towards the outcome in relation to that person, to that thing, to that favor we ask that person, right? For example, you ask your little brother to clean the house, and he does, but he does a terrible job. But you're also forgetting the fact that he is almost never home. He also doesn't clean as much as you do. You're clean freak. You know where to go, where to clean in the house. you know all the spots to hit, and you think you do a good job compared to your little brother. It's all expectations, right? You expected, for example, this party, this event to be super lively, like super lit, because your friends were talking about it. Because last year, all over the social media, it was popping, and you go to it, and it turned out to be the most boringest or dead event you ever went to. It's all expectations. Everything is all a perspective. And what has helped me a lot in my life is I've learned to lower my expectations for certain things and for certain people in my life. And I'm not saying lower your own expectations and standards for yourself, but to lower your expectations for things that are out of your control, things that you cannot 100% control, and accepting the reality of whatever the outcome may be. And that alone has brought me so much peace in my life that you don't even know. And with that, my friends, that is all I have to say. I believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourself. And take care.